Lucifer in the Bible, a fallen angel's journey. The figure of Lucifer has captivated the imaginations of theologians, writers, and artists throughout history. Known primarily as the fallen angel, or Satan, Lucifer's story in the Bible represents a tragic fall from grace, from the highest of all angels to the embodiment of evil. Though his name is often associated with rebellion and sin, the Bible provides only a few direct references to Lucifer, and much of the popular understanding of his character is derived from interpretations, later theological writings, and tradition. In this essay, we will explore the biblical portrayal of Lucifer, his origins, his fall, and the implications of his story. 1. The name Lucifer. The name Lucifer itself, which means light bringer or morning star, comes from a passage in the Old Testament, specifically Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12. The verse reads, "How you have fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations." This passage is part of a taunt against the king of Babylon, who is likened to a fallen star, a once great figure brought low. The term Lucifer here is used symbolically to describe a powerful ruler's downfall, but over time, this name became associated with the biblical narrative of the fall of a rebellious angel. In Christian tradition, the name Lucifer gradually became synonymous with Satan, the adversary of God, who was cast out of heaven. The idea that Lucifer was an angel who fell from grace began to take shape in Christian theology, especially as it was influenced by later writings and the concept of spiritual rebellion. 2. Lucifer's origins and role as an angel. Before his fall, Lucifer is often believed to have been a powerful and majestic angel, created by God to be one of the highest and most beautiful of the heavenly beings. The Bible does not explicitly describe Lucifer's origins, but many theologians infer this from several key passages that describe the nature of angels in general. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 12-15. In this passage, the prophet Ezekiel speaks of a guardian cherub, who was perfect in beauty, and blameless in your ways, until iniquity was found in him. Although the passage primarily addresses the king of Tyre, many scholars interpret these verses as referring to Lucifer's original state before his rebellion. The guardian cherub is thought to symbolize a high-ranking angel, one who had direct access to God's presence. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12-14. In addition to the reference to Lucifer as the morning star in Isaiah, this passage reveals the pride and arrogance that led to his downfall. It recounts Lucifer's ambition to exalt himself above God, declaring, "I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon." These lines highlight Lucifer's desire to rival God, an ambition that would ultimately lead to his destruction. Lucifer's role as an angel was one of beauty, wisdom, and power, but his pride and desire to overthrow God were the seeds of his fall. He was not content with his position and sought to elevate himself to the level of God. 3. The fall of Lucifer. The Bible's portrayal of Lucifer's fall is not depicted in a single, cohesive narrative, but rather through various passages that speak of his pride, rebellion, and subsequent defeat. The story of Lucifer's fall is a theological explanation of the origin of evil and sin in the world, and it is deeply intertwined with the broader biblical narrative of cosmic conflict. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 15-17, after describing Lucifer's ambitious desire to ascend to heaven and sit above the Mount of Assembly, the text tells of his ultimate fate. "But you are brought down to the grave, to the depths of the pit." Lucifer's attempt to rival God is thwarted, and he is cast down from heaven. This fall symbolizes the consequence of pride and rebellion against God's sovereignty. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 16-17, the passage also highlights Lucifer's downfall due to his pride and corruption. It says, "Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor." The cause of Lucifer's fall is clear. He was consumed by his own greatness and sought to usurp the throne of God. Revelation chapter 12 verse 7-9, the book of Revelation provides a dramatic depiction of Lucifer's fall as part of a cosmic battle between good and evil. "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray." This passage equates Lucifer with the dragon, who is later identified as Satan. It presents the rebellion in heaven as a war between Lucifer and Michael, with Lucifer ultimately being cast out of heaven along with his followers, the fallen angels. Lucifer's fall is often seen as the result of his pride and desire to overthrow God. His rebellion symbolizes the rejection of divine authority, and his downfall illustrates the destructive nature of sin. 4. Lucifer as Satan, the embodiment of evil. After his fall, Lucifer becomes known as Satan, the adversary of God and humanity. In this new role, he is portrayed as the enemy of God's purposes, working tirelessly to lead humanity astray. Satan is seen as the tempter and accuser, who seeks to thwart God's plans of salvation. Genesis chapter 3 verse 1-6, in the Garden of Eden, Satan, in the form of a serpent, tempts Eve to eat the forbidden fruit, leading to the fall of humanity. This event marks the beginning of Satan's active opposition to God's creation, as he entices humanity to disobey God. Job chapter 1 verse 6-12, in the book of Job, Satan appears before God to accuse Job, challenging his righteousness. This passage shows Satan's role as the accuser, questioning the sincerity of human devotion to God and seeking to bring suffering and temptation to the faithful. Matthew chapter 4 verse 1-11, in the New Testament, Satan tempts Jesus in the wilderness, offering him power and glory in exchange for worship. Satan's attempt to tempt Jesus further solidifies his role as the antagonist who opposes God's will. Through these actions, Satan, as Lucifer, becomes the embodiment of evil, deceit, and destruction. His ultimate goal is to lead people away from God, to tempt him to sin, and to oppose the divine will in every way. 5. Lucifer's ultimate defeat. The Bible prophesies that Lucifer, as Satan, will ultimately face defeat and punishment. Despite his current role in opposition to God, the scriptures declare that he will be bound and cast into the lake of fire at the end of time. Revelation chapter 20 verse 10, in the final judgment, Satan is thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where he will be tormented forever. This marks the ultimate defeat of Lucifer, who will no longer be able to deceive or lead astray. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 16-17, although Lucifer is initially depicted as a figure of great power, the prophecy in Isaiah shows that those who see him in the afterlife will be astonished by his fall from grace, asking, "Is this the man who shook the earth and made kingdoms tremble?" This final judgment affirms the sovereignty of God and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Conclusion. Lucifer's story in the Bible is one of tragedy, pride, and rebellion. Originally created as a magnificent and powerful angel, Lucifer's desire to overthrow God led to his fall from grace and transformation into Satan, the adversary of both God and humanity. While Lucifer's rebellion introduced sin and evil into the world, the Bible assures believers that his ultimate defeat is certain. The story of Lucifer serves as a reminder of the dangers of pride, the consequences of rebellion, and the eternal victory of God over evil.